Okay, those cars that we looked at before, maybe they're not luxurious enough. So I've snuck in to a second-hand European dealer, and he's always got some interesting shit there. So let's take a look. Unfortunately, the fucking yard was locked up, but there were some interesting cars in there. Let's have a look there. There's a nice E46 Beamer, and it's not ridiculous money. There was who the fuck would buy the Peugeot? I mean, that's a disaster. There's a nice E220 Cabriolet. They're quite a oh, look at that, $6,000 for a Mercedes C-Class. It's an old mid-90s 5990. There's an E320. Nice Beamer. That Beamer, that's not too bad. What is it, a 525i? That's an interesting Beamer there. They had some really interesting shit in this yard there. Just got to be a bit careful. There's some fucking Alsatians that kind of had a taste for meat. I don't think the fucker's been feeding them. But just having a look here, there was a little C180. That's about about 10 grand. There was some reasonable looking cars here. Reasonable looking cars. The Beamer had legs. I reckon that 5 Series BMW looked good. The E-Class, what was that? 11,990. That's cheap. That's cheap for an old E. Trouble, but it's cheap. They had some interesting cars there. Some interesting cars. 16, 17 grand for a later model C-Class. They had a nice C-Class wagon, a C200 wagon. I always liked the look of these wagons. They had a nice look there, and it wasn't ridiculous money. What was it? You know, it's sort of, these are very usable sort of thing. You could really, you could really use that sort of thing to carry all the shit around. Great sort of car for the wife to do the shopping in and doing that sort of thing when it's not broken down. But it presents well. Nice alloys. I like the way Mercedes does a wagon. Ever since the 300 TE in the W123, I've always liked Benz wagons. Some interesting cars here. These are used. A lot of these are sort of 90s, sort of mid 90s, late 90s sort of cars. They're getting a bit long in the tooth. You'd have to have a good independent mechanic, good indie. But you know, there's still a bit of nice motoring left there in them, and I love that 5. That 5 Series could be a goer. Tell me what you Americans think of our prices here on used cars. These are all nicely labelled, so you tell me what you think of our prices here in Australia. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think of Prestige Motoring Down Under. See you later, fuckers.